Points. Good day to one and all. Welcome to episode 30 of the Broad Points podcast. I am your host, the broad that points, the broad with the points. It's me, Tyler, the lady. We are feeling 30, flirty, and thriving today, you guys. It is always a blessing to be here with you and to share your time and space. One of the coolest things about technology, and I don't really often say cool or good things about technology, is the fact that we can stay connected. The fact that I'm able to put this out and reach you wherever you are, whenever you are. It's incredible. I love it so much. So thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing your time, for sharing your space. And let's get this show on the road, right? Episode 30. Wow. Did any of you guys ever watch the movie 13 Going on 30? That was one of my most favorite movies growing up, and I absolutely loved watching them do and learn the dance to Thriller by Michael Jackson. I would do it in my living room. I would do it often. You know, I grew up actually, I really enjoyed DDR, Dance Dance Revolution, for those of you who aren't cool enough to know what DDR stands for. Honestly, there's just a lot of acronyms these days, so I wouldn't blame you if you didn't know which DDR I was talking about right off the bat, but I've always loved to dance. You know, I never started taking dance classes until I think I was 30 when I started taking dance classes. And it has just been such a blessing in my life. You know, maybe one day we'll get to talk to one of my instructors on here and you guys can hear a little bit about their journey. But ever since I started taking dance classes, I have just felt an immense amount of confidence, you know, rise up from within me, because you don't find confidence. It's always there. It's always in you. You know, sometimes it just takes the practice for us to realize that it can show up. It can be there for us. We really can, you know, embody our confident being. And so, you know, ever since I started to, you know, I just started with one dance class a week. And then in that dance class, I found another dance instructor who taught a different kind of dance. And it has really allowed me to expand my horizons, expand the way that I connect with my body. And it's just so fun. I mean, moving is great because, you know, working at a stationary job, I work at a desk most of the time. Even when I'm doing art, you guys, like, there's not really an ergonomic way for me to do art. You know, whether that's painting or drawing or sculpting, my neck, my back, my everything always kind of seems to be in some sort of weird position. And so to have something, to have an outlet where I can move freely, where I can connect my mind, body, and soul all in one, it's the best. I love it so much. And I'm not going to lie, these last 2 weeks, I've been really pushing it. Last week was my first time doing 2 dance classes in one night, which was bananas. So much fun. I don't know why I hadn't done that sooner, but, you know, everything happens as it should, in its own time. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, so just accept that and be with that. And also, don't be afraid to keep pushing yourself. You know, don't be afraid to pursue your passions. I remember being in elementary school and I had a couple of girlfriends that I would go over to their house and we would make up dances in their living room, and we would have our little girl group moment, but never did I go into a dance class. Actually, that's a lie. I did go into a dance class once in my youth. I couldn't exactly tell you how old I was. I know I was, anywhere from third grade below, and I definitely think it was lower than that. I had gone into one ballet class, and in this one ballet class, I was not very impressed by the empathy and, how can I say this? The teachers were jerks. The instructors were not nice. They were like commenting on how terrible I was at doing the splits, which, your first day in dance class, I don't really expect very many people to just be able to do the splits. P.S. I can't do the splits right now. The splits right now, for me, it's not happening. That's okay. We have to accept our bodies wherever they are, whatever they're doing, whatever's going on. It's okay. And as difficult as it can be, to say, like, I don't want to do this because of someone else. That was a decision that I made in my youth, being pressed up against the wall to try and do the splits, being physically in pain, and also feeling super embarrassed by the fact that someone was, one, putting their hands on me and telling me how terrible I was, and two, just like, you're young. Everything when you're young just feels so traumatic. And so if you're young and you're listening to this, don't be afraid to persevere. Don't let others push you off your course. Allow yourself to take your journey, to go on your path wherever that may lead you. Mine has led me to a lot of dance classes. So last week, like I said, 2 classes in one night, followed by another class the next day and another class the next day. This week, we're doing 3 classes. Not 4, not 2 in one night, but I signed up for them. Maybe you should sign up for some. Do you want to sign up for a dance class? Is there a dance class near you? Have you always wanted to shake some ass and take some names? That's my new slogan. That's what I decided last week when I felt like I was nonstop dancing. Shake some ass, take some names. Because for me, I really am continuing to push myself. I'm continuing to challenge myself. I really am continuing to pursue my passions because no one else can do it for me, right? And outside of movement, the community, right? Connecting with people. I love to self-isolate. I love to be at home. I moved out of my homes that I wasn't enjoying. I moved to Palm Desert. I have put so much time and energy into my space that, hey, I'm allowed to want to be home now. I'm allowed to enjoy this space. I also love to stay connected with friends, with family, and with myself. And people are all our mirrors out there. They really are. And so I think by having encounters outside of your home, outside of your mirror, outside of, yourself, you can see the growth that you have by talking to other people, by relating to other people. And I have made some beautiful, beautiful friends through dance classes. I'm always trying new things and trying to meet new people because I think that everyone has value. Everybody has lessons they've learned. And a lot of the time, we have so much crossover. We can see so much of ourselves in others, and it really allows us to build that support network. It really allows us to feel supported by the community and the company that we keep. And, in addition to this, I am going to say that, honestly, sometimes you just need to relax. And, maybe my neck right now is saying, Tyler, maybe you want to relax a little. And maybe your watch is telling you, or your planner is telling you, or your calendar on your phone, because Honestly, I don't know very many people other than me that still keep a paper planner, let alone one that they fill in from scratch. I love a blank planner. I really do. It's so fun to fill it in and see what's happening and remember everyone's birthdays. I love it. I'm always on it with saying happy birthday to people, happy anniversary, happy birthday to your children, because I like to write it down. I like to see it. I like to have that physical manifestation. So maybe all of these things are telling you you don't have the time. But guess what? The best time to relax, the best time to recharge is when you don't have the time, right? When we think that we don't have the time, that is the best time to take a chill pill, relax, take some breaths. The time is here. The time is now. And you know what would go great with this? Is a fundamental phrase for the week. So with that, this week's fundamental phrase is: happiness is wanting what you already have. Yeah, you guys, happiness is wanting what you already have. Translation: gratitude. There was an article that I had read, I can't even remember how many years ago, and it was specifically talking about being in a relationship and why people fall out of love or why relationships fail, right? Which, failure is a hot topic, trigger word. But, why isn't this successful? Why isn't it what you want it to be? And the number one reason, and I'm also going to say before I say this number one reason, that relationships with yourself also abide by this rule. So the number one thing that can ruin a relationship is the lack of gratitude. Is taking whoever it is, whatever it is, because maybe it's not a person, maybe it's a thing, taking it for granted. By taking things for granted, by not appreciating what they're giving us, what that is supplying, it is so easy to say that it's not working, to say that it's not for us. And, in my relationships, there's always ups and downs. Life is a roller coaster, an emotional one at that. But the thing is, the times when I'm the most upset are the times when I have lost sight of the things that I have to be grateful for. And so really taking the time. We have all the time in the world because time, it's ours. It is. We decide what we do with it. We decide what we fill it with. And to just take some time to center, to relax, and to find gratitude, I feel like it just helps release resentment. You can't be mad at someone when you're also thanking them. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know. I don't want to say what people can and can't do because to each their own. We're walking our own path. But I know for me personally that when I'm more focused on the positives, when I'm more focused on what I have rather than what I'm missing, I find more things to be grateful for. Whether that's more things are coming into my sphere for me to recognize, or there's just already things around here, right? Like I said, I have built such a beautiful home. I have a crazy amount of art supplies. I have a crazy amount of room out here. I can go for walks. I can stretch. I can dance. I can paint a picture. I can do a drawing. I can sculpt a sculpture. It's all here. And it's so easy, especially with all of the different ways that you can buy stuff online, not even having to leave your house anymore. Now you can just look online and bam, you've purchased 17 things in the last 30 seconds. It happens quick. It does happen quick. I grew up thinking that I always needed a new thing. Every year would come and I needed new clothes. One, because I was a growing girl, and as children grow, you find they need new clothes. That is a real thing. However, you don't need new clothes and new things after every break, every weekend. You don't need to buy something every single day. It's not necessary for your survival. Need. The word need. Not like kneading bread, but saying that we need something. Need is survival. It means that we absolutely must have it in order to continue living. And from living, I can tell you that I don't need an excessive amount of clothes. I don't need an excessive amount of shoes. Do I have, honestly, both right now? Yes, I do. I keep trying to clean it out. I really do. I just also, I love fashion. I'm not like runway model fashion, but I just love to put different pieces together, throw me into a thrift store, and let me have a good time. I found some of my most favorite pieces from thrift stores. I don't let my pride or my ego say that I deserve something new. It's new to me. Thrift store finds are new to me, and usually at a way better price. Macklemore was talking about popping some tags at a thrift shop. It's what it is. And in Washington, you guys really do have a lot of great thrift shops. Down in the desert, we also have some good shops to find throughout the valley. There is also a lot of places where, people will sell it for you and then they take a percentage and it's all, I don't know. I love to donate. I'm a big donator. Anytime I feel like I have too much stuff in my closet, I put it all in a bag. I take it down to the thrift shop just down the street. It's called Revivals, which is such a fun name for a thrift shop because we are reviving this. We are giving it new purpose. And it shall live on with you or whoever buys it. It doesn't have to be you. Maybe it's not for you. That's okay. But, happiness, it really is wanting what you already have. And I grew up on Food Network. I think I may or may not have mentioned this before, but Food Network was by far one of my favorite TV channels growing up. Any time of day I would watch it. It was always phenomenal. I mean, we would just have some of the best chefs out there in the world on TV teaching us back in the day before it was all challenge shows, you guys. They used to teach you how to make things. I mean, Emeril, coming out, him cooking it up, bam! It was inspiring. I mean, I love to cook, I think probably because all of the programming that I watched in my youth, as it developed, it became a lot of challenge shows, which didn't always teach you what to do. But one of my favorite challenge shows that came out, I'm pretty sure it's still on. I think they're doing Champions of Champion episodes at this point because it's gone on for so long, is Chopped. Getting into the Chopped kitchen with those chefs and having them just get the craziest ingredients that they had to work with for an appetizer, a dinner, and a dessert. I feel like it really challenged me to think on my feet, to find happiness with what I already had. And in their kitchen, they had all of the things. You could literally make anything that you wanted because they had it all. And so in my kitchen, now, I was so happy when we moved into this place because they had remodeled the kitchen. So they had expanded it out so that my counter, where my sink is, was a little bit further away from my fridge, and my stove had a huge pantry, and we bought an extra freezer, all prepper style. My dad I'm going to say not would be because I've already told him and he's told me he's proud of me for this. All prepper style, having my extra freezer in the kitchen so that we can stock up on extra goods. What this means for my cooking is that every day I have the opportunity to be a Chopped chef in my own kitchen. Sometimes I have no idea what I'm going to make. Today, I don't really know what I'm going to make. However, I know that I have all of the ingredients for anything I wanted. I like to keep a stocked pantry. I like to keep the essentials in my pantry. I also have an alphabetized spice rack, which is so funny because it's literally been alphabetized the entire 2 years that we've lived in this condo. And Matt just realized the other day that it was alphabetized. Blew his mind. That's how I roll in my chopped kitchen, right? Because then I can just turn, I can know this is where it's going to be. If, I decide I want to make some bread, I have all the ingredients. If I want to make tortillas, I have a tortilla press. I haven't sampled it yet. I haven't tried to make it yet, but I buy so many tortillas. I should know how to make tortillas. And not should, because I don't want to put shame on myself, but I want to. I really want to. It's a part of my ancestry. I feel like, honestly, it's so easy. Pasta, too. I could make pasta if I wanted, from scratch. I can, grind up some of the meats that I have in my freezer. If I didn't want to cook them as a steak, I could make ground beef. I could make ground turkey. I could make ground chicken. It's amazing. Investing in your life, in what you find as a passion, just opens doors for you to be able to express your creativity. And I love cooking so much. It really is just one big science experiment. Baking, you have to be a little bit more technical, but cooking, it's anything you want. It's anything you can dream of. And I know I talk a lot about food, right? Guess what? I started posting recipes to my Patreon. Yes! This week I posted a recipe for an Italian chopped jar salad. I grew up going to this place, I believe it was called Cucina Cucina, up in Washington, and they had one of the best Italian chopped salads that I had ever had. And I feel like ever since then, I have been trying Italian chopped salads at other places. CPK has a decent one. A lot of chains use vegetable oil, which I'm not a big fan of. Our bodies are not big fans of. Vegetable oil is not a healthy fat, believe it or not. I know, but vegetables in the name. What do you mean it's not healthy? It's not. It's not good for you. So, exploring other oils at home, it makes sure that I'm accountable for what I'm putting in my body. And I think having that level of control just puts me at ease. I'm not just constantly sending my body rushes of cortisol and adrenaline, trying to process, machine oil basically. No, instead I'm using butter, avocado oil, coconut oil, tallow. There's options. And so, I'm loving making these recipes. I love making jar salads specifically because you can leave them in there for a week. If you're not ready to eat that salad that day, this is great meal prep. And usually when you chop up a head of lettuce, you get multiple jars. And so to prep multiple jars, and then when you're ready, just shake it up. Maybe you got some anger or frustration from your day and you just want to get it out. You want to eat your salad too. You get to shake the crap out of that salad until it's all mixed together perfectly, beautifully, and you dump it on a plate. You could eat it out of the jar if you wanted. I like to dump it on a plate for the presentation, to see my victory of completing this salad. It's beautiful. I love it. And my Italian chopped jar salad, it's my favorite Italian chopped salad now. I love it so much. Ooh, Cucina Cucina doesn't exist anymore. I can't go back to the OG. I can't compare. However, now I have something that I can always turn to. I keep all the ingredients stocked in my pantry, stocked in my fridge. It's so easy to do. And guess what? You can have it too. You can either buy it once and just have it, just have the recipe, or you can subscribe to my Patreon for $5 a month. Yes, you subscribe to lots of things. Are any of them providing you with quality, tried and true recipes created by yours truly? No, they're not! So if you want to subscribe to my Patreon, if you want access to these recipes, you can also just buy the recipes there. There's 3 up now. 3 up for our 30th episode. We're doing things. We're making it happen. You can access them at patreon.com/Tyler the Lady. And maybe also, while we're at it, while we're looking at things that we want to do for ourselves, I know the holidays are coming up. People are wondering, what on earth should I give as a gift? Or, what do I want as a gift? Maybe the answer is Xero shoes. Maybe you want those minimalist shoes. It's like walking around barefoot. It engages your feet while protecting them because honestly, who hates stepping on a Lego or a rock barefoot? It's me. My hand is raised. I hate it. I hate it. Having Xero shoes gives you just the right amount of protection so that you're not being jabbed in your soul and you're getting to engage all of the muscles of your feet. I find by wearing Xero shoes, I'm really increasing my balance. My toes are so happy now. My mom always used to make fun of me for having Flintstone toes. And guess what? They're all spread out now. They love it. They love these shoes. I love a wide toe box. Not very many people do it. A lot of the really cool shoes that kids wear these days have the narrowest toe box. And my little pinky toe hated it. It always hated it. I'd get the blisters. Did you get the blisters? Ugh. I can't say I've gotten one single blister. Even in the, and I quote, break-in period for your new shoes, not once have I gotten a blister in any of my Xero shoes. They tell you if you need to order your exact size or maybe a half a size larger. They have great reviews. The company is very responsive. Maybe you want to get some of your own. Maybe you want to gift some to someone else. You can use my Xero affiliate link. It is xeroshoes.com/go/Tyler the Lady. And if you want to follow me on social media, you absolutely can. You can share me with your friends. You can follow me on there at Broadpoints, at Tyler the Lady. And if you want to email me, because maybe social media is not for you. I was in dance class last night and a girl was like, I don't have Instagram. And I was honestly a little bit jealous because, as you know, social media is not my favorite thing. Is it a decent evil in the world these days? Does it allow for some really cool things? Connection, community, marketing? Absolutely. Business growth? Absolutely. Maybe it's not for you, though. Maybe you don't subscribe to that. I support that. I support you. I support your dreams. You can reach out to me at my email, broadpointspodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, to rate, to review, and to subscribe. How else will you know when these episodes are out? Maybe you get a random middle of the week post instead of that Mindfulness Monday post, right? Guess what? If you subscribe, you'll know when these drop. As soon as it hits, you'll get a notification. It'll be like, hey, you, there, a new episode of Broad Points is out for your listening pleasure. And like I said, don't forget to share this, you guys. This is how we spread the community, how we make more ladybugs. How do we like that for a fan name, huh? Ladybugs? We'll talk more about it next episode. But for this episode, my fellow fans, my friends, my family, thank you from the bottom of my heart. for joining me on our 30th episode. Now let's hit it one more time with that fundamental phrase for the week. Happiness is wanting what you already have.